What's up everybody, how's it going, and welcome to this episode of Car Rant. With Valentine's Day now behind us, it left me to wonder, what would be some good date ideas? After all, we spend hours waiting for a possible reservation, hundreds of dollars on flowers and get-ups and chocolates and all these other extravagant things just to make our loved ones feel special. But we car people aren't normal people. After all, one of our favorite hobbies involves getting greasy and dirty with a machine. So it left me wondering, what would be some good date ideas that wouldn't combine our love for cars with our actual loves? What would be a way to incorporate them into our hobby while at the same time taking them on a fantastic date with just the two of you? And that led to today's little trio of potential date ideas. And so here we go, our short list of potentially good date night ideas for car people. Now, to put it simply, car people, we often have very narrow views of what could be a potentially good date. As a guy who very much frequents car meets, you see it all the time. Guys bringing their girls who don't care at all about cars to a car meet so you can just stand around and look pretty for their boyfriend. And sometimes the opposite as well. It's not an idea of a good time because only one person involved is really having a good time, and therefore it's leaving that other person out to just stand there in that lot by themselves, or maybe they're lucky and they have some friends who are dating car people as well so they can hang out with them, but that's still not spending time together. So I have what I think is the perfect solution. After all, this is an American tradition that has just withstood the test of time so perfectly and fits in our now COVID-19 based future. And that's the good old-fashioned drive-in movie theater. Drive-ins are just the pinnacle of what I see as retro-style American culture because it's been around since the 50s. From curbside service like Sonic to just really classy looking cars all lined up in a lot to watch a speakeasy or a movie with sound. It's an incredibly unique experience to go to one of these, and now that we live in a time and era where social distancing is unfortunately a requirement for a lot of people, this is perfect. You're socially isolated from everybody that you need to stay socially distanced from in the safety of your own car with your loved one. After all, you get to do something that I enjoy greatly, and that's going to the movies. There's nothing more timeless than the movie date, and this combines all of the good things in life together. I mean, what's not to love? I get to go to the movies with my boo and my girlfriend. In fact, you can even make this date night more dynamic by doing a double date with a buddy who's also a car guy with their girlfriend, and roll up to the movie together. And if you're smart about it, you would have made plans for the dinner to happen after the movie. Because as everyone knows, car people tend to like to eat after the car meet so they can walk around on an empty stomach and just be nice and hungry for that good old-fashioned fellowship over food. And if you're part of my circle of friends, that food will always be Korean barbecue, and that's obviously always a good time. The next thing on my list is far more sappy and maybe not as accessible as the new drive-ins can be. And that's taking a nice lovely trip into the country for a good old-fashioned picnic under the stars. I know I'm a sappy guy, so for me this would be an incredibly fun time, especially because I know of plenty of good places to drive into the mountains where you can just see the stars and be in awe of the heavens while you're sitting there laying on a blanket in an open field with your loved one next to you. To me, that just sounds like an awesomely cool time. And I know that I'm super waxing romantic on this, so fellas, don't leave me hanging, because this would be so easy to do. I mean, you get to take a nice long drive in your car, which obviously is extremely rewarding for someone who's a car person, with your loved one, your significant other, to go do something as sappy romantic as that. If that doesn't make your non-car person extremely happy to spend that kind of quality time with you, well, sorry. You might need to find another friend. No, I'm kidding. It's definitely gonna be a huge hit because it's such a uniquely different thing, especially in the modern era where everyone just goes to dinner, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just so cliche. Keeping in line with, well, taking a trip, why not take a trip? Some of my greatest experiences, whether it be with friends, family, or a significant other, have been just going out on a road trip. And I don't mean just taking a drive, I mean going out there and having a good time, going to a destination. It doesn't necessarily matter where you go, it's the quality time that you guys can spend together. After all, a date night doesn't necessarily have to be limited to just a night. It could be that you take a nice cool road trip in your fun project, provided it works, and go somewhere that you know the both of you would really enjoy. Me personally, I love old cities. I've grown up in and around a bunch of different old cities, from Dover, New Hampshire to Tottenville, Staten Island, and now here in Leesburg, Virginia. And there's something about old city charm and brick sidewalks and all of that that just speaks to an aspect of my soul that I really love. And to be able to spend good quality time with someone I love, and then also be able to go to that place in my favorite car, like that would just be a pinnacle moment in my life, especially because I got to do something great with everything that I love going the way that I would hope it would. And so that brings this list to a close. I only wanted to do 3 things just because I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter, as it is kind of a gag video, but also at the same time just unique and different. And who knows, maybe it might help one of you guys out. I know that the drive-in's not something that everybody has access to, but hey, maybe take a trip to a city that has one and then go for a picnic under the stars. You could do all this in one night if you really wanted to. But with all that said, what are some cool date ideas that you have done over the years? I know that some of my viewership is older and married, and I would love to see what you guys do for fun, especially if it surrounds cars. But with that said, thank you guys for watching and tuning in on this one, and we'll see you on the next episode, and also in a new apartment. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.